Ladies and gentlemen, do you ever realize that one day in our lives we wake up and the first thing we reach for is our phone? We scroll through TikTok for 5 minutes, which somehow turn into an hour. Then Instagram, YouTube, chatting with friends, calling with friends. Before we realize it, that the day has slipped away and the world of words stay locked behind a screen we never close. We see so many things text, caption, endless sentence, but do we ever stop long enough to read them? Or do we just see them without truly understanding? Good morning, honorable judges, teacher, and all my dear friends. First of all, I would like to give my greatest thanks to Almighty God for His blessing and guidance so we can all gather here today in a good health and happiness. Second, I would like to express my gratitude to the judges for giving me this wonderful opportunity to deliver my speech entitled, Do We Ever Read? My name is Quinza Aurelia from Senior High School in Mandau, and I'm ready to take you on a journey into digital era. As we can see in today's world, we are surrounded by advanced technology, smartphone, gadgets, and everything digital. They help us access information faster than ever before. But the fact is, it's not only adults who have mastered these tools. Even young children today can use gadgets more skillfully than what we could imagine. My little niece can use every TikTok filters, and trend display better than I can. She can record it, edit, and post video with confidence. Yet I asked her to read a storybook, she would say, Nah, it's boring. They are growing up with screens in their hands, spending hours watching short videos on social media, scrolling endlessly, learning less, and believing that it's completely normal. But here's the question that matters the most. In this world of infinite scrolling, do we still know how to truly read? Ladies and gentlemen, reading is not just the act of recognizing words, it is the art of understanding the meaning. It is the bridge between knowledge and wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, reading means thinking. It means connecting with new perspective, questioning what we see, and imagining what lies beyond the words. When we truly read, we don't just collect information, we connect ideas. We don't just finish page, we find the meaning. But in this digital age, that beauty of reading is slowly fading away. Today, we read fast but not deep. We read often but remember little. We read to reply but not to reflect. We are becoming a generation that scroll quickly, thinks slowly, that reads everything but understand nothing. Technology, too powerful, has suddenly changed the way we think. It gives us everything so instant, so instant that we lose patience to reflect. Children can pronounce words but cannot grasp the ideas. They can read sentences but not the stories behind them. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just a reading problem, it's a thinking crisis. When we stop reading deeply, we stop questioning. When we stop questioning, we stop growing. When we stop growing, we stop thinking. But technology itself is not our enemy, it is our greatest opportunity if we use it wisely. Instead of letting it distract us, let it guide us back to the joy of reading. We can create interactive books with voices, sounds, and animations that make stories come alive in the minds of children. We can use reading apps that reward curiosity, not scrolling. We can build digital space where people share ideas, not only gossip and trends. Ladies and gentlemen, let us minimize the meaningless scroll and maximize the meaningful of reading. Every swipe can open a new world. If we choose what we see with purpose, every gadget can be a library for us. If we fill it with knowledge, not noise. So, Reading no longer needs paper, it needs purpose. No longer needs inks, it needs interest. Because the act of reading begins not in the book, but in our heart. The will to understand, not just to see. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, in the digital age, let us not forget the quiet strength of reading. Let us read because we must, but because it reminds us who we truly are: thinkers, dreamers, and lifelong learners. So, my dear friends, back again. Let us build a generation that loves reading, that cherishes the joy of discovery, and finds inspiration in the page of book or digital spaces. Let us build a generation that reads, thinks, and leads. I'm Queen Aurelia, signing out.